Hello, everyone, and thank you for your time. It's very exciting to see all the participants. I'm very happy to have you here. And as Elaine had said, welcome to our Coffee with CloudBolt webinar here today. Today is an exciting day for us, as we kind of gather for this special event that's really all about you, our valued customers. We're thrilled to have you here today. And the intent of today's session is to really raise awareness of our new self-service portal and the key benefits that you can expect from it. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, again, my name is Frank Rodriguez. I'm our Senior Director of Global Customer Success here at CloudBolt. And I'm joined today with Will Norton, who is our Senior Director of Product Marketing as well. So we'll take you through the content today. As you know, in a fast-paced world of technology, we understand your time is precious, and we deeply appreciate your trust and participation here today. We certainly want to be respectful of your time. So with that in mind, we would like to keep this session to 20 minutes or less. So if you have any questions or follow-up, or if you would like an in-depth demo, please reach out to your designated customer success manager to coordinate those sessions as needed. As leader of customer success here at CloudBolt, it's one of my top priorities to ensure that your journey with us is not only productive, but obviously we want to make sure it's extraordinary, right? So our new self-service portal is a testament to that commitment. It's really a game changer. It's designed with your needs, convenience, and success in mind. So, customer feedback is very important for us. And please know that your inputs drive our product team's vision and roadmap. We've made it a priority to collect your feedback and to embed that feedback into our self-service portal. For those of you who may not be aware, we have three different avenues available to our customer community to share your product feedback with us. We have a Slack channel, a GitHub portal, and a product feedback email distro available to you as well. We'll make sure that we send those details, after this webinar today. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Will Norton, who will walk us through the exciting features and capabilities of the new self-service portal. So Will, over to you.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, Frank. Thanks, Elaine. And thanks to the audience for jumping on today. I'll echo, very excited to be kind of showcasing for the first time in this type of forum the new self-service portal for CloudBolt's hybrid automation platform, or a lot of you may know it as our CMP. And it is exciting because this is one of those really awesome moments where kind of the user community and the organizations that we have as customers and clients and partners have brought forth a ton of feedback and recommendations that have driven our product's evolution and our roadmap, and obviously a lot of engineering time to create this new user experience for consumers of IT. And so very excited to be kind of taking a high level look at some of the really exciting features that those of you who are looking to use the self-service portal or have played around, you've probably seen these things. I do want to kind of step back at first and just kind of remind everybody of kind of our value proposition for our cloud management platform, and just the pillars that we as a product team are always focused on as we go to develop any new feature set, whether it's minor or major. And really our hope is that through using CloudBolt, businesses and organizations can maximize their cloud investment, optimize operations, enhance security, reduce risk, and really deliver a modern cloud experience to users in different persona groups within their organization. And through that, accelerate business innovation and growth. And there's kind of four main pillars that we are constantly focused on and are ensuring that as we advance our platform, everything we do falls into one of these categories, one or more of these categories, and you're going to see that come alive today with our self-service portal. The first is we want to make sure that there's a modern cloud experience for really every cloud. So extending beyond just the public clouds to everybody's unique cloud estate. Obviously, in this modern age, there's a lot of public and private clouds that blend together to create one kind of overarching cloud experience in most organizations, and bringing the entire technology portfolio into a unified control plane, one experience to rule them all. That is definitely something we strive for. We also want to ensure that through everything we do, you can increase your operational efficiency. So enhancing service delivery for the different stakeholders in your organization, and using very intelligent automation and orchestration to deliver things in a very efficient manner. And then extending more flexible delivery options for consumers of IT. Yeah, certainly something we'll be talking about today. Having extensive integration options, providing self-service for different user groups in your business, in your organizations. And then the last one is minimizing business risk. So mitigating cloud security and financial risk, using standardized service patterns, policy automation, and really making sure that your compliance and organizational standards can be brought forward for all of your service patterns across your business. And so it's with these four pillars that we frame a lot of what we do. And I would say, for today, certainly the flexible delivery options in this modern cloud experience, I think, stand strong with our self-service platform. So why did we go about creating a self-service platform, or this new kind of consumer experience for our cloud management platform? Really, this was driven by a lot of feedback from the organizations that we work with, many of which that are on this call. And the call to action was really, hey, not everyone that uses this experience, the CMP, is looking, is a technical expert, is somebody who's an admin, is somebody who wants to see kind of the open world experience and the extensive options. A lot of the users that are going to get into this experience are really just consumers of IT. And there's kind of 6 components that we were constantly hearing for this consumer experience. 1, we want it to be seamless. 2, we want it to be very intuitive and easy to use and have a low cognitive load. 3, we want something that's customizable and can bring our brand forward for consumers of IT. We want there to be rapid deployment. We want there to be rapid updates and the ability to not have to go through major upgrades every single time for this experience, and having something that's kind of always up to date and features can be pushed very easily with low interaction. Ensuring that there's a zero error design. So users are not hitting walls if the wrong choices are made or if the wrong options are there. Making sure that there's really no brick walls in delivery of IT services. And the final one is providing that modern cloud experience, the intuitiveness and the ease of use that we're used to with modern clouds. And so it was with these kind of 6 things in mind and the feedback that we heard from the community that we set forth to kind of bring this new consumer experience that ultimately has led to what we're calling CloudBolt Self-Service Portal. And at a high level, what the self-service portal is it's an optional experience that you can essentially turn on and configure for your end users of IT. It's very customizable, very lightweight, very fast, and it allows essentially extending the power of our cloud management platform to different persona groups in your business. And you can see here on the right some of the high level benefits. We're gonna dig into some of the key features in the following slides. So let's start off with some feedback that we've heard. There's plenty of great quotes, but I think this one kind of pulls it all together really well. Chris from Creative, his response to using this experience and really digging in was, hey, this is 10 times cleaner, it's snappier, it's faster, and it's better organized than what we would call kind of our flagship CloudBolt experience. And so for his users, at Creative, they were able to kind of go, hey, let's get most of our consumers onto this experience, and then really hold off the more administrative and technical stuff for the legacy experience. And we hope that this is something that a lot of the users start to feel. So we're going to talk first about more of that ordering experience in the cloud deployment and service pattern experience. If you're used to custom forms on our flagship experience, we pulled all of that stuff through into the self-service portal. And this provides a low-code customization that allows the admins, the blueprint creators, to essentially create an ordering process that is very customizable and very intuitive. So it's a drag and drop interface. You have the ability of kind of designing logic flows based on user inputs and doing kind of dynamic things with your order form. So I think one of the more popular components of this release is that you have dynamic data configuration. So you can do things like multiple choice inputs directly into a custom form, which means that you can be pulling in different data sources, and this is not a static experience anymore. We've also integrated client-side validation. So this experience can actually catch errors before submission. So there's no failed jobs and no red flags. If something's not right, it will call it out before being able to submit. This is all JSON based, so you can actually customize the configuration of this form via JSON. And what that allows you to do is do direct editing within the user experience, but it also allows you to export and import blueprints and do things like version control and backups of your blueprints, which is great. And then, of course, with all things self-service portal, you can create a very branded experience in your order forms now. So whether it's custom colors, logos, naming, really you name it, your organizational brand can kind of come through in this order experience. Moving on to category-based browsing. So what we wanted to do here is ensure that as users are kind of moving through the catalog, things are very visual and follow a path that you can kind of set forth based on the context. So it's very intuitive to go from one selection to the next. And really what this is a visual selection sequence where you can tailor your first line menu, and then based on the selections that are made in that menu, the subsequent menus drilling all the way down and kind of filtering out the options based on the context in the last menu or page. So an example of this, and you can kind of see this in this visual, is you can present your users with, let's say, a choice of technology endpoint. So let's say the endpoints are Azure, GCP, and OpenStack. Depending on the selection by the user, the next page is only going to bring forward the service patterns that make sense for the subsequent choice, right? And so the example here is if you select Azure, you're only going to be exposed the blueprints that align to the Azure experience. And so you can create 1, 2, 3, infinite amount of pages, and it's going to guide your users to a logical endpoint of service patterns. So really cool category-based browsing makes it far more intuitive to find the service pattern you're looking for, the blueprint you're looking for. From a resource management perspective, because we do know that there's a lot of consumers that own one or more parts of the estate, and this can all be configured, and we'll talk about this in a second, by user or user group. But if you are somebody who's managing resources or objects across your cloud, what we now allow is you to basically collect different objects into defined tables. And so you see this resource type specific tables as an example. You can create different tables for resource types like storage, server, networking, or even specific things like VM instances. And what this allows you to then do is have a very customizable engagement with all the resources that you or your team may own. So the example you'll see here is, here's a bunch of different resources. If you wanted to, let's just say, have a page for just storage, you could set that up and expose it to your users. And then from there, they can actually choose the different columns based on the object details that they want to see, and they can configure these columns however they like. And once you do that, you're able to do really powerful stuff like filtering and sorting. So if you wanted to, for example, look for all the VMs that you own that have more than 2 CPUs, that are non-production, that are also past their expiration date, you could configure your columns, set your filters, and really drill down into just the resources that are relevant for kind of the search or the query that you have in that moment. And pretty soon you'll be able to save these views and export them to things like CSV or Excel, or even just a raw data format. So that'll be great for analysis and reporting or administrative task. But within the experience now, you can actually drill into specific lines. Let's say you make a resource selection, an object selection here. without navigating away from the page, users have the ability of seeing all of the details for a specific object. And these are all the resource details that you're used to in the actual resource page. You can configure this for all sorts of different object properties, but all of that you can kind of click through and look at in this in-page detail panel. What's great about this is you don't have to navigate away from this page. So as you're doing your filtering and sorting and all of that, you can kind of quickly go through your resources and see the details you need without navigating away. And then from there, if you have an operation that you're looking to achieve, those same kind of actions that you can set up, typically those come through here, and you can run bulk operations for resources. So, once you filter down to the resources you'd like, you can make a selection of many, and then from there you can do things like power schedules. You can pull in and change attributes. You can do deletion. You can run ad hoc scripts. You can install packages. You can really, anything is, you've got endless options here, but being able to kind of filter and select resources and then run jobs against them is very powerful, especially for admins and resource owners. And of course, all of this is going to be set based on the roles that you've defined. As with our flagship experience and more of the administrative experience, you can come in and do very granular things with the user groups that you have. And so everything that is exposed, whether it be the blueprints, the forms, the resource pages and tables, what actions and things like that can be run, all of that is set based on the user permissions that you have through RBAC, obviously integrating with things like SSO and Active Directory to make that very intuitive. So really cool resource management functionality here. And again, mirroring what we would call kind of that modern cloud experience that users are looking for. And then when you get into the actual resource page itself, a little bit of extension needed here and some customization, but you can bring in CloudBolt applets that extend or kind of modify this portal. And so there's a bunch of different integrations and custom kind of business focus areas that we've seen. But common examples of a CloudBolt applet is like bringing in a CMBD panel or page or information directly into a resource page, or even if you've got like Datadog or some sort of third-party tool set that you use for monitoring or security or backups, you can bring in those details through a CloudBolt applet. And this can all be created in the admin portal and brought through to these resource pages. The example we have here is actually showing an S3 bucket in AWS, and using kind of the webhooks and the APIs that AWS has available, you can actually extend out this interface so that users can look directly into their S3 bucket and pull in and kind of manage and run some task against what's actually sitting in that storage object. So it's a really kind of cool example of bringing some public cloud-like or public cloud features or capabilities directly into this portal. But the options are really endless, and obviously this is something that we can work with you on if you've got a specific need for this. But beyond that, kind of wrapping up, I think there's some additional benefits and a lot more to really explore here, but things that we're really proud of. Very modern style based on a material design, much faster navigation than kind of the traditional CMP UI. And then I think the big thing here is that most of this experience is customizable all the way down to whether you want to expose this experience to all of your users, some of your users, or none of your users. And all that can be configured directly within the admin settings within CMP. So those are kind of the highlights. I think the frequently asked questions here are, where do I go to learn more? I think the big one is all the up-to-date technical information is in the CloudBolt documentation. We can send over a link, assuming most people kind of know where that lives online. Who gets the self-service portal? It's now bundled with CMP. So as of the 2023.3.1 release, this is going to be automatically installed and upgraded. Again, you have full control as to whether or not you expose this and to what level. So we can definitely work with your team one-on-one to kind of walk through that. But it is an option that is readily available. If you're not on this version and you're looking to do upgrades, definitely work with your CSM team. We can help you kind of get to that point. And then from there, going back to Frank's kind of intro here, where do you direct questions? Work with your customer success team. We definitely are excited to do kind of more customized, in-depth demonstrations and really try to understand your goals for self-service, the self-service portal, and help you kind of deploy if you're looking to get this to your users. So with that, I'll hand it back over to Frank, and he can kind of wrap up and talk about what's next.
Perfect. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. We also wanted to just raise awareness for some upcoming virtual and in-person events. It's important to share, these types of things with our customer base and our customer community, right? So, in just a few days, we'll be hosting another webinar really tailored around AWS and how to master chargeback implementations. We'll also be at AWS reInvent at the end of the month and would love to meet in person if anyone will be in attendance. Next month on the 13th of December, we'll be hosting another Coffee with CloudBolt with a focus on FinOps particularly. And in June, we will actually be at FinOps X down in San Diego. So if there's, with any of these events, if there's any interest, please reach out and, we'll get you registered for any of the virtual events or carve out some time, for any of the in-person events as well. So just wanted to highlight that. So thank you, Will. And with that being said, we'll wrap things up here today. So thank you all very much for your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Let's certainly unlock the full potential of our partnership and explore the possibilities around self-service portal and what that offers. As mentioned throughout, I strongly encourage you to reach out to your CSM or myself. I'll share my contact information as a follow-up here as well, just to coordinate any questions, follow up, the customized, in-depth demo for you as well. We'll make sure that happens. So thank you again and have a great day, everyone.